welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Addie Bell and I do videos on makeup and beauty and some skincare videos as well. If you watched my last video, I did a Tokyo 2020 Olympics inspired video by doing a Simone Biles look, and I'm going to continue that trend on today and do another Olympic inspired look. And today's inspiration is the country of Japan, or the city of Tokyo. And what I wanted to do is do a little bit of research into what their makeup looks like. I've always been inspired by Japanese looks. They're very simple and they're very skin based instead of using a lot of makeup and looking very extra. So the first thing I did was just do a little bit of research. I'm going to put the articles that I am getting this information from in my description box below, so that if you want to look up different Japanese ideas for makeup, you can. And what I looked at and focused on was just, what are the trends right now. So in the article that I read, they specifically focus on skincare. And if you know anything about Japanese skincare, you know that they take much pride in it and that their skin always looks amazing. So that's the first thing you gotta realize. I do not have that glass-like skin that I see on a lot of Japanese women. It's beautiful and I wish I could get my skin that smooth, but I can't. So for the first thing we're going to talk about, which is the base, we are just going to get it as glass-like as possible. Obviously skincare is very important and we want to make sure that we are taking care of our skin. And so I've been doing that pretty faithfully for the past 2 years or so, and so I do feel like I've gotten my skin to look its best, but still it's got texture because it's skin and I haven't been taking care of it since I was really little. So the first thing we're going to do is I love this hairstyle today, but I do need to pin these back just so they're not in my way. Did that do it? I think that did it. All right, so if they fall, you'll notice. All right, so what I was gonna do first to get that glass skin, I was gonna actually read part of the article about what they do for their base. So the article says that, and this article is from the Tokyo Weekender, says that they opt for a more natural looking base. A lot of women, city living and working Japanese women, tend to choose BB creams and foundation with lighter coverage. That goes back to the fact that their skin is so amazing that they tend to use that lighter coverage, and they don't generally use concealer. Those are just reserved for heavy duty missions or camouflaging pimples, or maybe if you had a dark eye here and there because you work late. So we're just gonna do a really light look. The first thing I'm gonna do though, because as we've said, skincare is important, so I'm gonna use this Weleda Skin Food. This will help me get kind of that shine that their skin looks all the time. And I'm gonna do that first before I use my lighter foundation. So this is my first step for base. I have already done my skincare, and so that's already on my skin, but this can kind of help as a primer as well if you need that. And that's another thing, like they don't even use, their skincare is kind of their base, and then they go in with their foundation. So get the skincare on. And then, like I said, they use like a lighter, they'd say a BB cream. I'm going to use a serum foundation, the L'Oreal Age Perfect Serum Foundation. I feel like that is the best to use in terms of getting that really glass-like skin. I'm going to say that too much. Hydrated looking skin. So I just put this right on my hand and I go right in. It may look crazy, but I feel like I can spread it really well. And my number one thing is I hate cleaning makeup brushes. So if I can spread with my hands and just use a cloth to clean my hands off, then I'm not getting foundation all over my brushes. I just feel like it's like the same. It's like the same as cleaning your painting brushes when you're trying to paint. So I spread it as much as I can around my skin, And then I just use a blending brush. You can see, like, you know what, it hasn't gone all the way to the tips of my forehead, so I can use the blending brush to kind of bring that out. And also to get, like, a lot of times when I do this with my hands, you get kind of like a texture. You just want to push it into the skin. Now, normally I would go in with a type of concealer, but that's not really what is used. We want to have a lighter look and a more natural look. And so I'm not going to use concealer, which I don't generally love concealer anyways. I do have a lot of fine lines, like, you know, when I smile, you can see all the lines, and I just feel like what that does is it just enhances those lines. So no concealer for today for our look. The next thing that the Japanese makeup look is iconic for their eyes, and a lot of times it's not because, like, they're doing this bold smoky eye or this crazy cut crease or anything like that, but they just do such a good job of using a minimal amount of makeup to make their eyes pop and also just to bring the look together. So what this article says is that they refer to eyeshadow, blush, and lipstick as their point makeup. Their purpose is to highlight the relevant features to create the desired look. And I love that. I really think makeup is created to highlight the beauty that's already there instead of hide that beauty. And so that's the goal for the eyeshadow. So skipping the smoky and the halo eyes, they use a single wash of color across the lid does the trick. A lot of times it's browns or taupes. The trending colors are often bolder, dipping into pinks and corals, but still staying away from a very pigmented formula. And so that is kind of the gist when it comes to an eyeshadow. So I'm gonna just do the simplest of eyeshadow. I think I'll do a little simple eyeliner. They tend to just do eyeliner on their lid. I have this eyeshadow palette I really like. I've been using for a while. It's from Makeup Obsession. No one really talks about these eyeshadow palettes. I think they're great. The pigments, they're not super pigmented, but that's not really what we need here or what we're going through. They have a lot of really nice pink colors. I think I might use Flame possibly in the corner and just kind of go through that. So I just want to do a simple look that will highlight my eye but not be too pigmented, and that's kind of the goal. I feel like with Japanese makeup, it's just to highlight what is already there, the beauty that's already there. So I do like to go in with a base. I went in with this light color. It's called Smitten, and what I think that does is I kind of use it like a primer. It gets the oils of my eyelid all dried out. I realized this year that my eyelids are very oily, so any type of primer or just doing a nice base shade. So do that on both sides. You can kind of see that's kind of brought down the color. My eyelids look the same color throughout. And then we're just gonna do one simple color. This is called Flame here, down here. It's kind of like a deep beigey pink. And that's kind of what the article mentioned, was just that the eyeshadows tend to be beige, taupes, and sometimes a little bit of pink added in there. And so I'm just gonna try and do just a little bit of a corner here. So just a little bit of a deeper in the color. I actually really like that. I've never used this just the corner. Most of the time I use a little bit darker color in the corner. So this is a great look. Everything they do is just super soft and super blended. So I just want to make sure that while I've got that color on, that there are no harsh lines. Everything is really blended out. I feel like even their lips are really blended. And so in order to make that blended look, you want to make sure you're blending around the edges. My mirror's right here, so that's why I'm looking down. But I think that's looking really, really good. The other thing I did say I want to do with my eyes is to do an eyeliner. They normally just do an eyeliner just across the top of their lid. And I'm going to use a brown. What a brown eyeliner does is it just looks a little bit softer, and then a black is not as harsh, and that's kind of what this makeup look, the goal here is just to make not as harsh lines. So we're going to go in with the eyeliner. I'm going to focus it on my mirror down here. And that just gives a little bit more definition. You can look in the difference between the two eyes. It's not that much, but you get a bit of a definition. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So the skin is looking good. The eyes are looking really good. If you need to keep blending, which I kind of feel like I need to blend a little bit more on this eye. The next thing is blush. So let's just go in an article and read what that article says about blush. Blush has remained fairly classic, with shades of pink dominating the market and available in your familiar powdered or small cream pots. The key is the application. You avoid placing the product on the apples of the cheeks. Japanese makeup trends often feature blush sitting between the cheekbone and the corner of the eye. So the cheekbone here and the corner of the eye. So we'll focus that blush more here instead of all the way here, giving a more radiant look to a face while bringing attention to the eyes. I find that their blush is also always beautiful. I feel like the Japanese are known for more cream products to keep that really light looking look on the skin, and as well as a dewy look on the skin. So I'm going to use one of my cream blushes. So the blush I'm going to use is the Milani Cheek Kiss. This is a little bit of a deeper, and I think it'll look a little bit better with my eye color. So that's what it looks like when I just put it on my hand, but if I blend it out, I feel like that might go a little bit better. So what I like to do, I like a brush with this, and I just tap it in as a little bit as possible. It's very pigmented blush, and a little goes a long way. And then remember what we said, that we keep the blush up high. We're not putting it on the apples of the cheek. The one thing that's not very commonly used in Japanese makeup is bronzer, and I think that goes to show why they're putting this blush up high. Is because they're kind of using that as the contour. You can see that this blush has really lifted my face. So when I didn't have blush on, it was a little bit more rounded, but this here can really lift your face. So make sure that's, once again, we don't want any harsh lines. We want everything to look very blended and natural. That's the blush, none on the apples. I normally bring blush all the way down. I really like blush, and so that's obviously your preference. But I do like this. It's like I said, it's kind of like using blush as the bronzer, which is a very cool concept and probably a little bit more brightening. The last thing is lips. So where many women like to experiment and do a little more color is with the lipstick. Depending on their preferred style, they might opt for a sheer coat of color or a deeper hue dabbed over lip balm. And more recently, we've been seeing bolder pouts making appearance on the runway in the street. So that would be, if before reading and doing any research, that would be the thing that I would think of in typical Japanese makeup, is they're really known for their bold lips. A lot of times it's like that really bright red. I'm with this more pink look. I think I'll do more of like a taupey pink color, but very much all about the lip. It's still, they don't wear lip liner and they don't make it super contrasted. I feel like their lips are always blended almost very into their skin, but it's also a very, very much the look is kind of comes down to the lips. So, okay. So the lip I want to use, it's called Mocha Licious, so it's going to be a little bit of a darker look. It's going to go well with the pinks, but it is bold, more bold in the sense of doing like a nude lip or anything. Nude lips are just not very common. And then I think I might put a gloss over it as well. So let's just try to get the foundation off my lips. Let's just go in with it and then see what we need to do from there. It's always better to underline your lips than to go over and then have to take anything off. So there's the bold lip. I do want to put a little bit of a gloss over it just to make it look a little softer. Something I always notice is that the edges of their lips are always blended. So I don't want, like, gotta be careful though, because I'm going to get some under my lip. But I don't want this harsh line. I kind of want it to be a little softer. So I'm just blending it and kind of pulling it down into the lip. And then I'll put a gloss on top, which will kind of help that blending as well. Okay, I really like that. Just making sure that there aren't any harsh lines. I think that's really helped the lip look a lot softer, but still have, like, when you look at this makeup look, you can still look at the lips and be like, okay, that is, that's a bold, that's still kind of the focal point. So those are the 3 things or 4 things that I felt like through my research I saw, like, very much about complexion, a soft eyeshadow look, not very much eyeshadow, definitely the blush up higher, and then a bold lip. That is the look. Let me take my bangs out here. Hopefully that didn't ruin the back of my hair. So I also looked up some hairstyles that were pretty popular. Some of them were like a short bob or bangs, but I did see some really cute pigtails looks, and I was like, I haven't done a pigtail look on my channel yet before, so this is kind of inspired. Now what they did were the cute like pigtails where they keep putting the ponytail down until you can kind of get that little bobble kind of look, and I didn't really feel like I was posh enough for that, but at least I attempted the pigtails, and I really like them. Very fun. So this is my Tokyo inspired look. I hope you're enjoying watching the Olympics. Keep watching them till the end of the week. I think I'll do a couple more, maybe not videos, but if you go to my Instagram, which is at @AddieBellMakeup, I'm going to do some more Tokyo inspired things on there as well, maybe involving Nastya Lyokin, hint hint. So head over there if you want to keep seeing some more Olympic inspired content, and then follow me if you are really like makeup, simple, natural, minimal makeup looks that are affordable and from the drugstore. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe and push the like button. It really helps my channel. I hope you have a wonderful week. Thanks. Bye.